All right. I believe we are live. Don't know how this is going to look and don't know how it's going to sound, but, hopefully we'll be okay. Coming at you tonight, live an hour later than usual. Coming to you live from Chicago. It's cold here. That was kind of surprising. But I would love to hear from you all real quick with the audio video. Oh, there it is already. Papamoto on it. Like, hey, I got you, John. Even though you're an hour late, I got you. It is just me tonight coming to you from the Embassy Suites in Chicago. So here's the deal. We are here right now for our youngest's graduation from boot camp for the Navy. We dropped him off like 3 months ago, and tomorrow is the day that he graduates. And we get to hang out with him for the weekend, which is cool, and then go back home, and then come back here 2 weeks later for Aquashella. We are going to be talking about a big, big, big thing with Aquashella here coming up tonight. But that's why we're here. That's why we're late, because today has been... Wow, that's what today's been. I sat down here at this chair 4 minutes ago. I mean, it's been absolutely, absolutely nuts. Thankfully, I texted good old Fish Room Fever a few hours ago, and I said, hey, you mind if we flip-flop tonight? Because I'm not going to be ready by 7 o'clock Chicago time to go on my normal time, which is 8 o'clock North Carolina time. And he was more than happy to do that. So thank you, big thank you to him, because I did not want to cancel this. I mean, this is a big part of our week, so I didn't want to do that. What, everybody coming over here saying, who is KG? Well, nobody here knows me, so that's good, except for the Adams family. They know us. They're like 20 minutes down the road, and then Kasha is right over there. We're close to some people that we know. But yeah, we're okay. So no Lisa tonight. There's a good reason for that. So today we flew out of North Carolina at 1:30-ish. We got to Chicago. Took forever to get the rental car. Kind of lucked out though. I rented a cheap mid-size SUV, and I did this a month ago. I get here today to pick up the car. Oh, we don't have one, sorry. But we'll give you that BMW instead. Aw, shucks. I'm trying so hard not to sneeze here, folks. Haven't had to sneeze all day, but then I sit down here to talk to you. So we got this fancy BMW. Came to the hotel, got checked in, then had to go back to the airport to pick up our son's girlfriend who flew in separately. She is going to college, and so it's not like she could have flown with us. And then we had to go from there to pick up tickets for the graduation tomorrow. I don't know why they do it that way, but they do it that way. We had to go and get tickets, and then I just got back here to start this stream for you. So it's been a day. It's been an adventure, but I'm here now, trying not to sneeze, and really excited to talk to you about a few things. Got a good story, fish keeping story. I know I've had a lot of stories lately that are not fish keeping related. Boy, what is happening here? Do we have ourselves I don't know what's happening here. Got an interesting fish keeping story to tell you that happened an hour ago. It involves our son's girlfriend. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about Aquashella, because I think I may have hinted at this before, but it's official now. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I say Aquashella, it is only the biggest aquarium show on Earth. It happens 3 times per year, and there's one coming up in 2 weeks here in Chicago. So yeah, I'm here. We fly back to North Carolina 2 weeks from tomorrow. We fly back here to go to Aquashella. And I see Whip's World is in the chat. I'm sure we'll see him there. He'll be the guy that's 9.5 feet tall with hair all the way down to his butt. You can't miss him. Looking forward to seeing him and everybody else. Aquashella is always a lot of fun. I enjoy just going there and hanging out with the folks and just doing my thing. It's a lot of fun. But the thing that I am excited about more than anything else, but I'm also a little bit nervous about, I'm not going to lie to you, for the first time at Aquashella, there is going to be a live on the main stage Saturday afternoon, which is actually the keynote speaker event. Myself and another 9-foot tall individual, Jake Adams. You may not be familiar with him because he is primarily a saltwater guy. He's a big name in the saltwater world. Jake and I are going to get up on stage and we're going to duke it out. You know, forget about Logan Paul and KSI and Jake Paul and all of these family vloggers that get up there and get knocked down 5 times. Forget about all those people. Me and Jake, we're going to go at it. Only it's not going to be boxing. We are going to debate freshwater versus saltwater. This is something that Jake and I talked about after Dallas Aquashella last year, which last year Dallas was in October and Chicago was in another month. I don't know, but Dallas was the last show of the year. But this year, with the way scheduling worked out, Chicago is the last show. And so we've been talking about this for almost a year, and it took a year. Finally got the confirmation, I think like 2 days ago. Yes, it's on. And not only is it on, but we're making that the keynote event for the show. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. I really wish Aquashella would make a thumbnail, or not a thumbnail, but like a post where him and I are like this, but they don't have pictures of us doing that. I think it would be so much fun to do that. Anyone from Aquashella watching right now, I'll send you a picture of me like this. All you got to do is get a picture of Jake like that. Take the background out. iPhones will do it for you now. And there you go. There's your ad. It'd be perfect. But it is going to be so much fun. Will it be live on YouTube? That I don't know, and I don't think so. And if it were up to me, I would actually tell them, don't put it on at all. Don't put it on YouTube at all. That's not to be mean, but I think that this is going to be something big. Not because it's me, but just because it's something new. It's something different. We're going to have a moderator there like a real debate should, and the moderator is going to be asking us questions. I don't know if we have a couple of names that we've reached out to be the moderator for it, but I don't know which one it's going to be. So it's going to be like a real debate, and it's going to be so much fun. I think this is going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to talk about and have a lot of fun with, whether it was me or anybody else doing it. And I think that needs to be something that is for the people at the show. Because if you just put it out online, then it doesn't give anybody a reason to go out. Maybe put small clips of it or something like that on YouTube, on the Aquashella channel. That'd be fine. But to put the whole thing up, I don't think that would be a smart business move. I think you want to avoid doing that, so it makes people want to go to the show. Because if this is something that does really well, then they can start to do all kinds of debates, not just me and Jake, but anybody against anybody else, and have a lot of fun. But I think is this the right way to say it? My and Jake's personalities are going to be perfect for something like this. Him and I are both kind of out there, like in your face, kind of like no nonsense. I think I might be a little bit more abrasive than he is. I'm not going to be with him though. This is all going to be for fun. It's not going to be coming to blows kind of thing, which is good because I'd probably get my butt kicked. But I think him and I have the right personalities to really have a good time with this. Anybody that is going to be at the show in 2 weeks, if you don't come to the main stage at 5 o'clock, you're going to be making a big mistake. It's going to be fun. And I expect there to be a packed house in there. I expect the aisles to be full of people. I expect the back to be full of people because this is going to be an event and I am so much looking forward to it. So that's the big announcement for Aquashella. And unfortunately, I don't have any other announcements to make for Aquashella. The acoustics in this room are really bothering me. I don't know if you hear it, but me, it is really, really annoying. I feel like it's bouncing back at me, and there's probably that word. You know that word that we do not say, like Voldemort. We do not say that word. Ellen Horcher's going to be there. See, there you go. Making a good choice. Ellen, I need you. I know you're a freshwater person. I've sent you and your husband so many orders. You're in here all the time. I'm going to need you on my side. Really, I am. I don't know if they're going to do one of those things because there's no winner or loser. This is really just going to be for fun. But I don't know if there's going to be like okay, if you think John won, a round of applause, like they do at the aquascaping contests. I don't know if it's going to be like that, if they're even going to pick any kind of winner or loser. And I really don't care if they do. But if they do, Ellen, I'm going to need to hear you. Because, I need all the help I can get because Jake is not only 1.5 feet taller than me, he's also a lot younger than me, and he could probably kick my butt. So I need all the help I can get. Jake would not kick my butt. He's too good of a guy. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing everybody there. And there you go. So a couple of other things here that I want to talk about. Let me get this here real quick. I should have done this before the stream, but like I said, I just sat down. It's been a day. Here it is. So my new fellow North Carolinian messaged the other day, and he made the mistake of messaging on Facebook. I don't see them. I don't see stuff on Facebook hardly ever. Daggone it, where did it go? All right, well, I'm just going to read it right here. Devin Henderson, who is the guy that I talked about last week that I was outside exercising, walking down the road, and he pulled up and he said, "Hey, you're John from KG Tropicals." It was pretty cool. He messaged and said, "I have a snow white parrot, and when we walk in the room, I guess it startles it and it does 4 or 5 somersaults. Is this normal, or is there something wrong with it?" Devin, we know each other now, right? I don't know if you're watching tonight. Has the name Devin Henderson popped up in the chat tonight? I haven't seen him, but I also haven't been looking at the chat. There he is. He's right there. So Devin, you and I are close friends now, right? We're practically brothers. We know each other now. I don't like to pull punches. It's just not my style. No, I don't think there's anything wrong with the fish. I think there's something wrong with the scenario that the fish is in. Here's what I mean. And I don't think you're being negligent or anything like that. So don't take it that way. But put yourself in the fins of that fish. Okay. You're a little guy and you're in this device that amplifies everything. I mean, we can't see through the eyes of a fish, but you know the way this works. If you're standing outside of an aquarium, you don't look normal size. It blows you up and it makes you look even bigger than you are. But the fish also doesn't recognize, oh, that's a human being. All that fish recognizes is a gigantic blur just barged into the room. And I don't have anywhere to go, and I'm going to freak out here for a few seconds. That's what's going on here. I don't think it's something wrong with the fish other than the fish not liking that. So the way you correct a situation like that is by, I don't want you to walk around on eggshells around the tank. It's not like you can just say, okay, well, we're just going to have to tiptoe into the room. Here comes Lisa now. You can't say, she's not going to be on the stream here, folks. I'm sorry. But here she comes back into the room. Like I said, it's been a day. You're here. Yeah, at least the background's are. You're not going to say hi, are you? Okay. She just came back with dinner for herself. And so she's going to sneak through, and nobody's going to even know that she was here.
Because you had McDonald's.
I did. I had McDonald's for dinner.
And I didn't want that.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? So, what I would do with a fish that has that reaction is get the fish more used to that scenario. What I mean is, logically, you might be thinking, well, maybe I should put that aquarium in a space that is not going to have those abrupt, startling movements around it. But that's the last thing that you should do. It's kind of like, I don't know, I can't think of an analogy for that. But I believe that's the wrong way to handle it. What I would rather see you do is expose that fish to activity outside of the tank even more. So if, I know this sounds like the opposite, and I could be completely wrong here. There could be some scientific study that was done to prove that I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just telling you my gut instincts. If the fish was used to activity going on outside of the tank, then at some point the fish would figure out that movement, that big blur that's going on out there is not a threat. It would be used to it, and he wouldn't startle himself, he or she. I've had I've had fish kill themselves doing that. You know, they try to retreat and they bang themselves up against the glass, or they try to jump out. I don't know why a fish says, I'm in danger, I'm going to jump out of the water. Like, that's like you riding in a plane, like, I don't like the look of that guy, so I'm going to jump out of this plane. I mean, come on, who would do that? But, you know, fish are dumb, and so they don't know that you shouldn't do that. So they just, like, go on kamikaze missions when they get startled like that. But if you get them used to activity going on, then maybe that won't be a problem. Maybe you got one of them there snowflake fish that's just scared of everything, and there's nothing that you can do about it. But that is what I would do if I had a fish in that situation. I would have that fish be exposed to activity more. Now, there might be no other place to put the tank. I get that too. I mean, we all don't live in houses where we can just say, okay, I'll move it over into that room. I get it. You have a specific place in the house where you keep your aquariums. You know, if you can't move the tank, you didn't mention anything about any tank mates in there, but maybe if there were tank mates, something to occupy the fish's mind. Hello, Daniken. There he is. There's Kenny right there. We can't talk about him anymore because, anyway, I wasn't talking about you, Kenny. You know, I got nothing but love for you. I don't even know where I was at. See, Kenny, you did that to me. That's your fault. You come in here, we get a big shot, like Daniken Aquatics comes in here, and I lose all train of thought. Oh, if the fish is in the tank by himself, then he's used to just chilling, and he's like, oh, this is great. The only threat I have is that big blur that comes through the room. If there's other fish in there, maybe it would calm him down a little bit. He could occupy his brain and put some attention towards those things. I'm not saying fish that would eat him. I'm saying other fish that could just occupy, stimulate. Then he wouldn't be as skittish as he is now. So that's what I would do. Now to my fun story. And Lisa's like, oh no, because I don't know if she's watching the stream. I'm assuming that she is, but other pairfish doesn't do it. Okay, see, now here's the other thing, Devin. Fish are dumb. I mean, we're honest with each other, right? Fish are dumb. They're not the smartest creatures in the world, and so, you know, it could be that you have a special fish. But even still, you know, adding a little bit more activity in that tank, what the fish needs, in my opinion, is more activity. There needs to be something to stimulate that fish's mind more than what he has now. Maybe that's tank mates. Parrots can do well with almost any kind of tank mates because their mouths are so puny. They will push fish around, but they have a hard time eating other fish. So Get them some friends. Get a little bit more activity going on. I'm not saying do your P90X workout in front of the tank. I'm just saying get some more going on, and then he won't be quite so skittish. Y'all ever seen this? There's not many things in life better than strawberry starbursts, and they have gum. You know what else they have? The strawberry starburst drink mix. I'm on a bit of a pink starburst kick. So, I got to tell a little story about my stepson's girlfriend. Told her I was going to do it. As soon as this came out, I said, I'm going to do it. I got to talk about you tonight. We just picked her up from the airport a little bit ago, like I said. Then we had to run and get the tickets for the graduation tomorrow. Then we had to get back here. She had a beta. Yeah, I said had. She is a brand new fish keeper. She is in college. She is a freshman in college, so it's all intimidating and it's all new to her. Her sister bought her an aquarium setup for something. I don't know. Birthday, Christmas, whatever it was. Starburst jelly beans, that's where it's at. John, Kenny, you're trying to sabotage this stream tonight. I see it. I see what you're doing. You will not win. You put the word strawberry in there. I'm going to see it, and it's going to catch my attention. She said that her sister really wants to be a fish keeper, but for whatever reason was not able to, so she wanted to live vicariously through her, and so she bought this as a gift for her. Did not buy her the fish, but bought her the aquarium. At least that's the story that I thought I heard. I could be wrong. Maybe she bought it all at the same time. I don't know. I don't think so. She bought the beta at a big box store, and the fish lasted a week. And so she's in the car, the fancy BMW that we rented and paid the rate of a small SUV, meaning we got it real cheap. That's what I meant. We're riding to get the tickets, and she said the fish was having a little bit of a hard time. Was noticing his fins started to not look so good, started to turn colors, and so I thought I was doing the right thing. Put it in the chat. What do you think she said? And I thought I was doing the right thing. So I cleaned the heck out of everything. And Lisa and I looked at each other and said, uh-huh. Yep. Yes, you did. And she said, within 2 days, I think she said, the fish passed. And so I had to explain very briefly, because, we didn't have all day in the car, but I had to give her a very, very Cliff Notes version of the cycle. She cleaned everything. And Rachel says, did she clean the gravel? Yeah, she cleaned the gravel, the decorations, the everything. And she did say, and this angered me a little bit. She did say that she went online and did some searches. She found some articles and she read those articles, and that's where she got the information that she needed to react to this problem. And I said, well, daggone it. Why didn't she find any of our videos? And daggone it, what's even worse than that is because she's been with my stepson for 2 years. Why didn't she know to look for our videos? I hope she's watching right now. No, I pick on everybody. I'm not being mean to her, but I don't know what articles she found or what blog posts or video. I don't know what she found, but apparently it wasn't good, because the way she tried to handle this situation. I'm trying to lower my voice here because the wall is right here, and I don't know if the walls are paper thin here. Just realized that it's not still too late, but I have a very loud voice. I'm trying not to interrupt the people that are next door. But I explained to her, I said, listen, you feel bad that happened. It's understandable, but don't beat yourself up over it, because This is the most common mistake made by fish keepers. And it's a mistake that probably every fish keeper could say that they've made. We all go through it in the beginning. There's probably a lot less of that happening now because we have so much access to information. There's just information. There's a smorgasbord of information out there. So, maybe it's not happening as much, but in my day, when I started, everybody did this. I did this. Everybody I know did this. The tank doesn't look good. So you immediately react by cleaning the crap out of it. Figuratively and literally. And we all know that's 3 steps back. Very good, by the way. Pink Starburst drink mixes. I've also had the cherry. The cherry's very good too. So, you might be somebody that is brand new to fish keeping. I get those all the time in the chat. There will be people that say, hey, I just got my first tank and stuff like that. If you, back in my day, I hear you, Zen. Get off my lawn. If you have problems in a brand new aquarium and you are a brand new fish keeper, this is the best advice I could ever give you. You've had your tank running for a few weeks. You did what every fish keeper does, and you bought an aquarium, all the SpongeBob decorations and the unicorn gravel, and you got all of that stuff, and you brought all of that stuff home with a bunch of fish in a bag, and you put it all together. You put the fish in there, and Devin is a South Carolinian. Well, shoot. I thought we were practically brothers. You're dead to me now. No, I'm just kidding. The first question Lisa asked when I told her the scenario that happened, she was like, well, what beach was he going to? I was like, I don't know. I didn't interview the guy. But so you must have been going to Nag's Head, I'm assuming. But anyway, you have your tank running for a couple of weeks, and just like everybody has it when they're brand new in this, you start having issues. Your fish don't look happy. They're struggling. They're breathing heavy. The water looks a little gray, and you're just like, what is this? I see all these people on YouTube, and they have these gorgeous tanks. Mine's only 2 weeks old, and it already looks like crap. I'm going to tell you this. This is controversy, okay? This is a controversial statement. I would rather see you dose that tank with the appropriate dosage of complete from Fritz or prime from Seachem. I would rather see you dose the tank with that to help detoxify the water so that the fish can survive, and then let the aquarium do its thing. Touch nothing. I would rather see you do that, even though that's still not the right thing to do, but it's better than the alternative, which is almost every new fish keeper's alternative, which is, I'm going to completely dismantle this thing. I'm going to take everything apart. I'm going to scrub it out. I'm going to use a toothbrush. I'm going to get this thing sparkling clean. And then when I put it back in there, I would rather see you use the Band-Aid of prime or complete than see you take the tank apart and do all of that. It's the lesser of two evils, right? If you put prime in or complete, basically the same product. I have a very, very close relationship with both companies, but Fritz, anyway. Excuse you. Lisa must be doing some drinking back in the bedroom because I just heard. We're in an Embassy Suites, so it's actually got a bedroom. There's a bedroom in there. But I would rather see you do that than do the alternative. But that leads me to another thing, because I got an email, I don't know, within the last 2 weeks, and I didn't really know how to answer this, because if I had gotten asked this question in person or in a chat and I could really go into the answer, it would be simple for me to answer that. But this guy messaged, I don't remember what the meat and potatoes were of it, but he said, I'm having all of these problems, ammonia, like everything is out of control, and I'm just using Prime. That's all I'm doing. Is that okay? And I wanted to be like, oh, you know, George R. Martin doesn't write novels as long as that email would be if I was to really in detail explain what's going on with that. But this guy, and no disrespect to this guy, I mean, we were all beginners at one time, right? The problem is he is going to treat with complete or Prime. I think he said Prime. I don't know. Eventually, the tank is going to figure itself out unless he just never does any maintenance. But then I guess it's possible that fish could survive just with a lazy person doing no maintenance whatsoever, but just dosing with complete or Prime, every couple of days or so. I mean, I'm not willing to sacrifice fish or the potential threat to fish to try that experiment, but I imagine that would maybe work. But we all know that's not really what we're supposed to be doing. But that's basically what this guy was going to do. And so what I'm saying is, let's say he does that and a month goes by. The tank has finally balanced itself out, unless he's not doing any water changes and all that poop is building up and all of the food. Who knows? I don't know. But if the problem resolved itself, he's going to think it's the Prime or the complete that fixed the problem. Are we on the same page here? You have a problem. You don't fix the problem. You put a Band-Aid on the problem by treating it with complete or with Prime. And the problem eventually goes away because nature does what nature does. And so you think, oh, well, Prime, that's what fixed it. But it's not. Prime is what got you through all of those hard times. I hope I'm making sense. This is why I don't do well on streams by myself, because I just go and go and go. And I know sometimes I probably don't make sense, but that's a problem, because this guy or anybody that goes through this never learns what was truly going on there. All that person learned is, if I treat with complete or Prime, the problem goes away. That's great for Fritz and Seachem, but that doesn't fix the problem, and that doesn't teach you anything. It just sells some more Prime and complete, which, if you're going to use that as a strategy to fix the problems in your aquarium, might I recommend you order that from keepfishkeeping.com. I got bills to pay. I mean, But my stepson's girlfriend made the mistake that every fish keeper has made, except Lisa, because she had me there to make sure she did not make those mistakes. So I guess I can't say every fish keeper, but every fish keeper who is self-taught, let's put it that way, did what his girlfriend done. I'm not going to say her name because, with the paparazzi and with, stalkers and stuff. I'm not going to say her name on YouTube in front of, 46,000 people. I don't think she wants her name out there. Everybody has made those mistakes. And usually, 100% of the time, one of two things happens. The person says, you know what? I feel horrible about that. I can't believe I wasn't able to keep that fish alive. This hobby ain't for me. I'm out. That happens a lot. This is why I've made it my mission to keep those people in the hobby. My website is keepfishkeeping.com. That's why. Because I believe there are so many people that are on the cusp of doing exactly what I just said. They're just like, this is too much. I'm gone. I'm out of here. They never get the full experience of what this hobby can do for people. The other style, or the other type of person, has that scenario happen and says, you know what? This is ridiculous. I can't believe I did that. I am determined to figure out what I did wrong, and I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to make sure that I don't make that mistake again. She did not do that, and I don't blame her. Like I said, she just started up school. She's a freshman in college. She's away from home. It's overwhelming. It's all brand new. She doesn't need another little life to be responsible for. So I get it. I think she probably made the right decision. But I don't want to see people do that. I mean, with her, again, makes sense. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that would make sense. But I don't want to see people leave for those reasons, because this is a simple problem to fix. It's easy enough to teach somebody how not to do that. I just, those people, I wish they would give it another chance. And she will. She will. She said, I'm going to try again, but I just don't know if right now is the right time. And I said, yeah, you're probably right. But I don't want to see people leave for that. If you leave the hobby because you had something catastrophic happen, I mean, I've had catastrophes happen. I've told the story a million times about my arowana jumping out of the tank on Father's Day. Another story I haven't talked about too much. I have mentioned it before. And if there's ever a reason for somebody to quit, believe me, I've got about 30 of them. We lived in a pretty small house. Decent size, enough room, but it was not a big house at all. All of our aquariums were down in the basement, and Lisa and I were both overwhelmed with work, and we had full-time jobs and all of this, and I don't think I had gone down the day before to feed the fish, because there were days when I was fixing furniture sometimes where I would have to drive 3 hours to get to the area where I was servicing customers that day, and then go to 10 people's homes and then drive 3 hours home. Sometimes I wouldn't get home till 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It was brutal, but I made a good living doing it. So, kind of, it's part of the deal. And so sometimes, things like that would happen, and I wouldn't be able to feed the fish the day before. Fish can go a day without eating. It's no big deal. We don't want to get into the habit of doing that, but, underfeeding is better than overfeeding. So I don't think I had gone down in the basement the day before, and we started, something ain't right. We can smell something. And it was one of those things where it wasn't an overwhelming smell like all the time, but different parts of the house that you go to, it's like, what is that? Did CJ forget to take the trash out or something? Or what is it? Something stinks, and it's getting worse. And then it hit me. I said, oh. And what I thought happened was maybe one of the tanks downstairs blew up, and there was water everywhere. And it was like, that mildewy smell. I didn't know what it was. But when I opened up the basement door, I knew what it was, because it was an overwhelming smell of dead fish. And we all know what dead fish smells like. And I went down the stairs, and it's hard to explain the layout of this, but basically down the stairs, turn right, go through the basement, turn right again, basically make a big U-turn around to the opposite side of the stairs, where I had a 150-gallon with my African cichlids in it, and the filter failed, just stopped, and all but one of the fish in that tank were gone. And they had probably been gone for a day. Like I said, who knows when it happened, but the way the smell was, it's not like it had happened an hour prior. It was something that probably happened the previous day, or maybe the night before, or something like that. And I didn't know, because I didn't get a chance to get down there and feed them. And they were goners. If there's a reason to quit this hobby, it's something like that happening. There were fish in there that, when Lisa and I first started breeding African cichlids, before this whole KG Tropicals thing happened, there were fish from the very first batch of fry that we ever had that were in that tank. They were big, glorious, beautiful 7-inch long males. And yeah, they were part of the carnage in there too. There was one fish and one fish only, and that survived. And it was a, oh boy, shame on me. The name of this fish is escaping me. The Tanganyikan cichlid that starts all polka dotty, and they're gorgeous, black and white, black with white polka dots. But the boy's eye, thank you. I knew I was going to hear it from the bathtub. Lisa's up behind this wall in the bathtub, and I knew I was going to hear that. Yeah, the boy's eye. That is the only fish that survived, and survived for another few years after that. That's pretty cool that you remember that. I'm proud of you. There's that. There is my stingrays dying within 2 weeks of each other. There's the arowana jumping out on Father's Day. If anyone has ever had reasons to quit, it's me. And I'll admit, I've taken breaks before. But I've always come back because this hobby it's too much to be away from. It's kind of, I don't want to say it that way, but I can. I mean, I'm somebody that completely understands addiction, so I can talk on this. It is people who are former alcoholics and they are in recovery. They always call themselves alcoholics. Even if they haven't had a drink in 15 years, they still call themselves an alcoholic. Because when something's in you like that, it never leaves. And a person who is a recovering alcoholic is always for the rest of their life going to be fighting that urge to tip that bottle up. And fish keeping is the same way. I know it's kind of apples and oranges, but when it's in you, it ain't never going to go away. You might take a little bit of a break, but you're coming back. And you're going to get all these tanks, and you're going to grow a rat tail or mullet, call it whatever you want to call it, halfway down to your knees and look like my friend Big Rich from the Ohio Fish Rescue, who's in here with us tonight. I don't know if that's Rich, but somebody from that crew is there, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of them in a couple of weeks at Aquashella too. So identify yourself, Ohio Fish Rescue. That's got to be Rich, but yeah, when it's there, it ain't going anywhere. It's always going to come back. And so you're never going to ever not be a fish keeper again. You might sell all of your aquariums, and you might take a real break, but eventually you're coming back. You're going to watch a video on YouTube, or you're going to see a short where this bald guy with a beard says, "Hey, am I a weirdo?" Y'all don't know about that, do you? Did you know that your boy put up a short yesterday? I'm so happy with that short. It was so much fun to make. Somebody put up in the comments of one of my videos, if you have more than 2 dogs or more than 2 aquariums or something, you're a weirdo. So I said, huh. And I showed every animal that we own in my short. And then I was like, you got me. I'm a weirdo. Lots of fun. Put it up on TikTok too. I don't think anybody's watched it on TikTok though. And I'm not trying to be a TikToker, but I just put it up because I'm like, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's the same format. Everything's just put it up in the other place and we're all good to go. Whoa. Hey, Cichlid Bros. They are, oh, this can't be right. 3 views? If you have more than 2 cats, more than 2 dogs, or more than 2 Sorry. Oh, I just got to get out of this app. I don't know how it only has 3 views, but there's the short on YouTube has a lot of views. Lots of fun. And you know what? Lisa and I have been talking about that. I'm going to start making some shorts because it was fun. And I'm going to start putting some shorts up that are some classic clips from our old videos. And, you know, we'll see what happens. It's fun. I mean, those videos are more laid back and easygoing and just like whatever happens, happens. So I'm excited about it. So anyway, did we get an answer from OFR who that is? It's Rich. He's just trying to keep it mysterious. And then he'll come and freaking tackle me in Chicago or have me stand in front of him and he'll drape his hair over me like he did last time in Chicago. I think it was Chicago that he did that, or I don't know. But yeah, Rich is a lot of fun. I got to get up there. I got to get up there to PA. My good friend Tanner, of which I am a guilty brown noser, just got a new place in PA. He's always been in PA. So I got to get up there to see that. I got to go visit Flip Aquatics. I got to go visit Ohio Fish Rescue and my guy Than Thane from Tidal Gardens. I got to go to all of those places. I got to do the tour of PA someday. Got to do that because there's so much to see up in Pennsylvania. We're getting to be that time of the year where it might get a little risky. I mean, obviously it's not going to snow in the next month, but I'm not going to be looking to leave North Carolina very much in the winter because in the winter, that's when it's really nice. And you don't have a swarm of gnats flying around your head. And so I'll plan those trips for the summertime. Furloughs Aquatics came in here a long time ago, like right at the start or even an hour before the stream, I guess, and said, "Happy Thursday evening, everyone." Hello, Eric. I've seen you in there. You've been in here the whole time. Christopher Scott. "Hey, John, hope you're doing good. I'm great. Got baby Aratus and baby peacock cichlids and got an OB cichlid holding. Babies that are swimmers today." That's cool. Oh, wait, I missed part of it. My screen is condensed. And angle baby, I'm going to say that you meant angels. Angel babies that are swimmers today. Wow, you are a busy little fish maker, aren't you? That's very cool. That sounds like a whole lot of fun happening in there. Van Tran. "Hey, John, where's Jeff and Elon?" I don't know. Those guys, they say they're busy all the time, but I mean, they don't do nothing. I mean, they're basically a couple of lazy idiots. And so I don't know why they're not here. I mean, they should be here. They could learn a thing or two because neither one of those guys are very smart. So they really do need to be hanging out in here a lot more. Dwayne Moretta. "It's late and my fish tank related chores are done." Bravo. "So instead of watching while I do water changes this week, I'm watching and working on a model car. Enjoy the graduation." You make me so jealous because I absolutely love scale modeling. And unfortunately, my vision will just not allow me to do it anymore. And it makes me really sad. I might see if I can maybe buy some glasses and get back into that. Fishroom Fever. "Every time John opens his mouth, it's a debate." It's true. I can get a fight with the best of them. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to win all the time, but I can go toe to toe with just about anybody. I ain't afraid. Bardsdale Goldens. Love it, love it, love it. "Had to cancel my trip to Chicago. Hope you have a great time. I will plan better for 2023. Fish question: how long before new 20 long of 6 multis spawn?" That's impossible to answer. What you have found there, Bardsdale Goldens, I hope I'm saying it right. That is an impossible question to answer because I don't know if you bought 6 fry or if you bought 6 adults. It's impossible. But if you bought them as adults, they could breed instantaneously. They're going to get in there, they're going to get themselves comfortable, and they're going to figure things out and set up their little territories, and then they're going to get to work. But there's really absolutely no way of knowing for sure. So if you put babies in there, then I wouldn't expect anything for the first. Let's play it safe. Let's say year. It's probably stretching it. They can breed sooner than that, but let's say a year, just because that's as generic of answer as I could come up with. Our Aquatic Universe with Mike B. Hello, Mike B. "John, the Navy boot camp graduation in Great Lakes, Illinois is such an awesome thing to see. We missed our daughters 2 years ago due to COVID. Ouch. I graduated there in 1996, heading to the Keystone Clash tomorrow, first fish event." Very, very cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we've been to one for the Marine Corps, and that was a spectacle. But it was in Parris Island in the summer, and it was pretty hot. But we loved it. It was a lot of fun. I don't think it was the summer though. I'm listening. October, yeah. It was still hot though. But yeah, really, really good ceremony. I'm expecting this to be too. And as far as the Keystone Clash, I would have liked to have gone too. And so would Lisa have. But we cannot prioritize that over our kids' graduation from boot camp. How many people are actually dedicating their lives to serving this country anymore? Not many. So it's a very special thing. We're super proud of him. And obviously, we're going to go to that before we do the Keystone Clash. Daniken Aquatics Strawberry. Oh, I think I already read this. Strawberry jelly beans. That's where it's at, John, to die for. Starburst jelly beans. Yeah. I love jelly beans. I really do. You know what else I love? And a lot of people hate candy corn. I bought a bag of candy corn the other day. It's on my desk. I'm just taking a few here and then. It's good stuff. And it was the bag that is the autumn mix. It has the pumpkins, the chocolate ones, and the regular yellow, orange, and white ones. Oh boy, that's like, yeah, you're singing a song to me when you give me a bag of those. Ryan Gloff, getting a 10-gallon for my desk for planted shrimp and guppy tank. I know you hate this. Oh, here we go. I haven't seen it. His question is going to be, I know you hate this, but how many of each can I put in the tank? I haven't seen it. I know you hate this question, but how many can fit in there? I'm thinking start with 5 or 6 of each and let them control the population. Ryan, that is the perfect answer. Because shrimp and guppies, if treated right, guppies, just add water, will make babies. Shrimp, they're pretty easy too. I mean, I don't say it from experience, but I just say it from what I see everybody else doing. Shrimp are not overly complicated to breed, but they do require their water parameters to be right. So they will not breed as easily as guppies, but it's also not as hard as breeding, say, discus. But I think you're making the right decision, because if you were to start out with 18 of each, you could fit that many in there. I mean, it's a 10-gallon. Guppies are teeny. Shrimp are micro. But then you'd have a real problem, because 18 makes sense. And next thing you know, they're rolling out of the tank because there's so many. So, yeah, you're doing the right thing. 5 or 6 of each, and let them go and see what happens. Fishtachio, hey, John, I got VIP tickets for Breaking Benjamin concert. Oh, I get to meet them. Wish you were coming to meet them. I got an extra ticket too. Is that in Charlotte? Did I remember hearing you say? There's 2 songs that got me through a lot of dark times. And those songs are Dear Agony and Rain, both from the Dear Agony album. Benjamin Burnley is like Aaron Lewis. If I was to meet either one of those gentlemen, I would just like to say, sir, thank you. That's all I need to say. Thank you. And I'm sure both of those guys have heard that from hundreds of thousands of people, but I would say that it would be from the heart, and I would mean it. I would love to meet either one of those guys. So I'm jealous, Fishtachio. I'm very jealous of that. Ben Burnley looks like a good dude, and all the guys in the band, but you know, they've gone through so many band members. I can't even tell you the names of all of the players in that band. But their bass player now, the bald guy that does all the screaming, I like that guy a lot. I don't remember his name, but that guy's good. He good. So I'd like to meet him too. I think his name is Mark. He wrote Red Cold River, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that dude can scream. And apparently Ben Burnley is having a hard time screaming now, so he lets him do all of it. I think that's pretty cool. QD McGraw sounds like a country music singer, doesn't it? Next, ladies and gentlemen, from the Billboard Top 10 Country Single this week, it's QD McGraw with John Deere Green. We all know that's Joe Diffie, but that's just the first thing that popped into my head. Yeah, I go back to the 90s with country Joe Diffie. I was so sad to hear he passed. After 30 years, I have a new 55-gallon sitting in my living room waiting for me to build a stand. What are you doing? I mean, if you say to me it's been sitting there since Tuesday, then okay. But if it's been sitting there for a long time, me and you need to have a talk, my friend, because that's unacceptable. We need to get that thing on a stand and get moving with it. The 55-gallon is such a perfect tank. It can go in any size room. You have so many options of fish that you can put in there. How much fun can you have with 55s? Seriously. You need to get after it, Mr. Country Music Star, because that's a crime to have one sitting on your floor. Thomas, I think I struggled with this last time too. Papelli. I'm going to say Papelli, almost like Vince Papali. Hi, I think I said that last week too. Hi, John. Our purple/red koi beta is loving life in his new Aquatop Venti 5-gallon. We finally restocked those. What a great tank that is for betas. Sponge filters built into the corner. Little space to put the heater. Perfect. It's the perfect beta tank. Absolutely perfect. Lisa was talking about scaping a whole bunch of them and putting them on but I don't think we're going to do that because she has another plan. Oh boy. Don't worry, I'm not going to do it. Oh boy, were her and I talking about some cool stuff this week. That would be, it'd be something to see on the YouTube channel. Let me just tell you that. And it was a fun conversation. Might be something that happens someday. It involves the reason why she doesn't want to scape all of these venties, because we would be doing this other thing. But if we end up doing that, it would be radical. Trust me. Christina Nance became a member. Welcome to the team. We're so glad to have you. Christian's amazing animals. Let me explain something to you, Christian. You're like, John, wait a second. You've said my name like 40 times on this stream. Why did you just look at my name funny? Because for whatever reason on my laptop, it looks a little different than on my big giant iMac at home. And so I was looking at it like, have I been saying his name wrong this whole time? But no, I got it right. Freaked myself out there for a second. Hey, John, just got my friends some neon tetras, autos, and a small piece of a Nubius and some Hikari pellets tonight that I'm going to surprise them with. That's awesome. But here's the thing, Christian. I know you're going to do this because I know you're a responsible fish keeper. I see you in here all the time. You're obviously somebody that's wanting to learn this hobby. And so that's good. That's a good thing. When you give a fish as a gift or multiple fish as a gift, what a cool gift, by the way. I applaud you for that. That's so cool. You also need to make sure that you are available to help your friend if he struggles with those fish, especially if he's a brand new fish keeper, because you're going to be mad if you call your friend 2 weeks from now and you're like, hey, how are the fish doing? And he's like, they all croaked. I don't know what I'm doing. You're going to be upset. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want your friend quitting this hobby. So make sure you tell your friend, hey, listen, here they are. If he's brand new to the hobby, if he's a seasoned veteran or she, I don't think you said he or she. So either way, if this is something that this person is very experienced in, then that's awesome. Or if he's brand new at it, she's brand new at it, make sure you are there to hold your friend's hand so that you don't end up with a catastrophe. Because you'll feel bad, your friend will feel bad. We don't want that. So, but that's a really, really cool gift. That's what Lisa and I do all the time. We buy each other fish for gifts. It's like, I can't figure out what to get you for your birthday. Do you want some more discus? Makes things a lot easier. So we are caught up on that. That is very cool. Let me get to the other chat here that I haven't checked in a little bit. Built-in tank for the bathroom, maybe? No, I can't even hint as to what this thing was that we were talking about. But it involves, it's big. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. It's something that Lisa's thinking about getting into. She's not thinking about it. She is doing it. And I said, if this becomes a thing, we should do this. And it was like, oh, and so that we started talking and it just became this big thing and it was a lot of fun. And, you know, if it happens, trust me, you will definitely see it. Did we ever get any clarification as to who was visiting us from Northern Ohio? Didn't come back in and say anything, did he? He says, you know what? I'm a big guy, but I'm a man of mystery. And John said he was going to come see me last year, and he didn't show. And so I'm going to mess with him by saying, hey, and then just ghosting him. That's what Ohio Fish Rescue did. Looking forward to seeing those guys. Those guys are a lot of fun. They're, Rich is not a quiet guy, and he's not a small guy. They don't call him Small Rich. They call him Big Rich. How come nobody's ever called that? You hear a lot of people, Big Rich, Big Joe, you know, Fat Tommy. You know, you have to, but you never hear, I guess you have people that are like Little John, stuff like that. So I don't even know what I'm saying. But they don't call him Big Rich because he's a little guy. But he's also, he's pretty loud. But it's in a good way. It's a party. He's a walking party. That's what he is. Reaper, you have to get about this far away from him to hear him. It's like, what'd you say, dude? What was it? Huh? Because he's like so quiet. But not rich. Big Tiny. Tiny Tim. Here we go. See, everybody's going to correct me on this. Yeah, you're right. You know, I don't know what I was thinking there. He did come back and say something. It was Big Rich. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't go back far enough. I did. What year was it? One of those years I was going to go. It wasn't the Keystone Clash. It was the OCA. I was going to go to the OCA. Oh, there it is. Man, I wish I could post that picture on here. And it is me. Rich, you're not here anymore. I'm sure you're not. But I have that picture. I don't think I have it on this computer, though. But I have that picture of... I could dig it up, but we'd be here all day. If you don't know what he's talking about, I had no idea this was going to happen. We were in the booth, and Rich said, somebody grab the camera. John, stand here. And I had no idea what was happening. And Rich, I wasn't kidding. He has a mullet that goes below his butt. I mean, it's real long. So he took his hair like this and got it all bunched up and then kind of like flipped it over his head. I didn't see him doing this, but this is how he did it. And then we stood back to back and he took his hair and threw it over my head. So it all came down over me and it looked like I had this big giant Whip's World style mane of hair. And I didn't look bad with hair. I'm not going to lie. And his hair smelled glorious. I thought about asking him what kind of product he uses because it smelled wonderful. But I have a picture of that somewhere, but I don't have it on this computer. I could look up the message from Reaper that he sent it to me, but we ain't got all night. Planning on my first fish auction Sunday at the Clash. After a year in the hobby, I'm glad to have a little experience with identifying fish and how much certain fish retail for the auction. You know what, Oinkmaster Supreme Forever, as much as you are in here and as active as you've been on social media for the last long time, it seems like you've been here forever. It surprises me that you've only been in this for a year. You seem like a seasoned veteran. Toko Frost. Hi, John. I'm pretty new to fish. Uh-oh. Lost it. Come on. YouTube. Really? This is what you're going to do now? Where'd it go? Okay, I can't move. Kind of new to pretty new to fish keeping. I have 2 goldfish that I won from fairgrounds. I know they won't grow to the size of the tank since my tank is only 15 gallons. What should I do with them? Put them in something bigger. That's what you should do with them. Uh, there are plenty of ways to house fish on the cheap. Whether it's Rubbermaid totes, that you might have laying around the house, clean it out real good. Don't use like Zap or Kaboom. Don't use that kind of stuff, but clean it out real good and put them in that. If it'll hold water, it can hold fish. I would rather see you do. There's people that would look at that and say, well, that's just mean. You're putting them in this little bucket. Well, first of all, what's the difference between that and a pond? And second, isn't that better than a 15-gallon tank? I think it is. And it's not like, if you're taking care of the water, if you're feeding the fish, you're taking care of them. Why is that a bad thing? We keep goldfish in totes. They keep koi in totes. I feel like I just swallowed a rose stem. I'm sorry. Okay. Is there a plant you recommend for a beta tank? I don't need to plant. A plant that you don't need to plant. Well, that's got Anubias written all over it. Attach it to a rock, attach it to a piece of driftwood, you're good to go. You don't have to plant it. And it'll give you all the benefits of a plant without planting it. Oh, wow. That is really bothering me. Ryan Gloff, I've been in the hobby for about 2 months and loving it, but where do you hear of these fish conventions? I'm interested, but don't know where to start. I live in Arlington, Virginia. Fun fact, my grandparents used to live in Arlington, Virginia, and my uncle still does. I spent a lot of time in Arlington growing up. My uncle was an Arlington County police officer for 35 years. Now, the reason why I know about him is because I make my living on social media. Aquashella is basically a social media born event. One of the owners of the show is Coralfish12G, the YouTube channel. The other owner is a bigwig with Fritz Industries. And so these are 2 very social media savvy dudes that when they started it up, they're like, we're gonna promote this thing by way of social media. So that's where you find out about those. But that's one of those things where, like, if you type in aquarium convention, let's try it. I don't even know if Aquashella pops up. If you do a Google search, IAAPA Expo. What is that? Consult with more water park companies in 4 days than you can all year. That's not for us. It's probably a cool event, but that's not for us. Here you go. Okay. It does pop up in the events thing. Aquashella Chicago, All Aquarium Catfish Convention 2022 in Herndon, Virginia. Hey, there you go. In Aquashella Chicago 2022. Well, you missed. That's on there twice. And it does pop up. That's good. I remember doing this a long time ago, and it didn't pop up. And so it was like, if you're not specifically looking for Aquashella, you wouldn't find it. But now it's there, so that's a real good thing. I'm happy that they somehow performed some SEO magic, and there we are. But then Magna, Chicago, to host the Aquatic Gardeners Association. That's next weekend. There you go, Ryan. That's what you do. You search for them. in Arlington, I mean, you've got that catfish show. I've never been to that. Haven't heard much of it. I can't speak to whether it's good or not. I don't know. I'm sure it is. But is it like people that are like catfish noodlers, or is it people that keep catfish in aquariums? I don't know. All right. We're going to have to start wrapping things up here because I am slowly melting down. Much love from Boston, Massachusetts. When was the first Aquashella? That was in Dallas in 2018, I believe. Or it might have been 2019. I'm not 100% sure. I was not able to go to the first one. I believe the first one happened when I was still on my break, when I took a little break from YouTube. I'm not 100% sure, and I didn't even know that it had happened. I came back from my break and I was like, what's this? What's this Aquashella thing? That looks pretty cool. What? George and Sean own that? What? Where have I been? So, yeah, it's a cool event. It's a lot of fun. Is it worth traveling for? Yeah. I mean, it definitely is. It's fun. And this year, me and Jake Adams are going to be like this up on stage. You can't miss that. Do you know of any fish shows in North Carolina? I wish I did. I don't know of anything in North Carolina at all, which is unfortunate. I mean, I think there is a club in Raleigh, but there's certainly nothing around us. We live in Northeast North Carolina, and there's certainly no shows near us. Humble is not the word I'd use for him, but you can go with that. With who? Who are we talking about? Whoever made it is a genius. Okay, I don't know. But, all right, listen, folks. I know it's a little bit early, but I am melting down as we speak. So I am going to have to shut this down. But this was so much fun. I appreciate you. I realize this is later than normal. It's not the usual thing. But I didn't want to bail on you. I wanted to still bring you a stream tonight. And I'm glad I did because it was a lot of fun. But I'm losing my voice. We got to get up at like 4:30 in the morning tomorrow to get to this event, to the graduation. So I am going to have to cut it short. But I thank you all so much for hanging out, and I'm going to see you next week, I promise, and we'll be able to talk all about what happened this weekend. Hopefully nothing bad.